Welcome back. Did you know you could tie a friction hitch with tubular webbing? We'll take this outside. We'll put some weight on it, and we'll see how it breaks under load, and talk about the uses for it. And then I'll show you how to tie it. So here it is on the pole. It's I tied it in a distal hitch. I get my weight on it. See how it holds. Bounce on it. It didn't move here. It popped down up here on this pole. Pole's kind of slick. But so that's weighted, and then it stays on there pretty tight. I'll get my weight on it now with my saddle, and then see how it breaks under load. Okay. So, hooked into my saddle here, and so it turns up. It turns up rather well. Seems to break under load right now, but it's tight. Seems pretty reliable. I do know I was working with it a little earlier, and once you got it pretty tight, it's a little bit stiff to get it to break free. But if I pull the top up and I pull the bottom, I can get it to move. It's not bad. So now that we know it works, take it inside and talk about how we can use it. What do you got? What do you got? What's this? Uh-oh. What do you got? Let me see. What you got? I'm gonna get this one. Let me see. He's got to keep both of them so I don't get them. Walter. Walter. What do you got? So now that we know that it works, we know that this works, I can consider replacing the hitch cord section of the foot loop stirrup, the stirrup line here. I've used this for this way with the hitch cord for I think at least three seasons now, and you know, I've changed it a few times, but you know, one of the things I wanted was this hitch to be able to freely go through the bypass link. So like I have here, well, I'll hook that up first and show that. So one of the struggles was, you know, anything that kind of slowed down the adjustments as I went. I would start, and if you watch any of my climbs, I would start with, this is around the tree, and then this hitch is up inside here. Start with this inside, and as you climb the tree, it gets smaller, and this works its way out to here. And then when I'm at hunting height, I'll have this just outside this, or a little bit lower, and I'll use it to adjust my my platform. So I've had different configurations. This one now has a kind of an etria rope ladder, webbing ladder. But I thought if I could get this webbing to grab and form a workable friction hitch, then I might not need this hitch cord here. I would probably keep it here where I'm tied in to my bridge, because I know this is super reliable and it always holds. But as far as the foot loop, what I can do to give this some test runs, I'll just turn one of these one of the foot loops into this style now. So I'll try it that way for a while, and if it works out, then I might consider going that way. But this is an alternative to the hitch cord, the composite foot loop stirrup line. But it has a very slender profile, as you see here, and it goes through here actually better than the hitch cord did. And as you saw in the video, it holds well. It breaks. It's just that once it gets really tight, pushing it back up is kind of stiff. You kind of get it to break free, and then it actually when you get it just right, it's almost like a progress capture. But anyway, I'll this stuff is like 50 cents a foot, as opposed to, I think, $1.90 a foot for this. So, you know, there'd be a cost savings there. I think it might overall be a neater package, especially when we consider now, like if I have it as etria and I got three or so foot loops, I can collect these loops up like this. I could collect them all up and then hook them in my bypass link for when I'm walking. And if this was connected right to the rope, then it would form fewer loops over my shoulder. It'd be 2 instead of what it is right now, about 3. So it would carry better. But now I'll take it apart and show how I tie it, and that'll be it until we climb with it. I'll get some more. I really don't have quite a long enough piece to make the whole thing out of this material here. As far as the etruier, the stirrup, but anyway. So I take my 1-inch tubular webbing, and I have, this is 9mm Sterling HTP. There's a 10mm I liked. It's a little bulky, but it would grip even better on that. But I start, that's the up direction, up the tree, and this would be down towards my feet. So I'll come on here and I'll wrap at least 7. I go about 230 without any clothes or gear, so I'll probably do, maybe I'll do 8. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and go 1 more, 8. So now this, I think the big key to this webbing as a friction hitch is to keep it really neat. But what's going to happen is these upper wraps are going to come down like that. So I'm just going to kind of encourage them to come down this way. And then I'll take, let's see, this was the top, and then I'll come underneath and then back through there, just like that. And the 2 ends go out the loop here opposite each other, and then I'll work it down like that. And then as I weight it and use it, just make sure it dresses up nice and neat. And once you got it there, it really seems to maintain its shape well. So you got these inner, and end up with these inner and outer friction wraps squeezing on the rope, but it holds well. And then I'll just close the loop whichever you can close the loop whichever way you want. You can. I would probably tie a tape knot, and then I would tie my foot loops, the etruier. I would tie that just overhand knots. Let's see if I can do one of them real quick. So the tape knot is just it's overhand like that, and then this other strand will follow around. Oh, keep that in there. It just traces that one around like that. You might have to work it out so you have this knot in the center down here, and then by the time you come in and tie these, you tie a foot loop like that, you would pull some of this to the side, and you would just tie, since it's closed, this is it's kind of short to give a good example, but you would just tie an overhand knot. like that. You got to use your imagination here that we got a longer piece of webbing, but so then you would have a long strand on the other side, and we tie another overhand knot down here, and however many of these foot loops you wanted. So anyway, I hope that helps. I'll get more of this tubular webbing, and I'll set up one of my foot loops entirely with the webbing, and then I'll video the next climb with that, and report back how it works. It seems I haven't, it seems reliable. It breaks under load. If I don't have to have that hitch cord in between there, it gives a neater, and it gives me more adjustment to have this hitch up inside of the bypass link, and then it feeds in and out of the bypass link easier. So that makes lifting the tethers up the tree smoother, and that's anytime you get that where it's just effortless, the climb is as fast as you could climb the ladder. Anyway, hope this helps. Thanks for stopping by.